What if I told you the problem isn't Malaysia SNR? The problem is in how you're actually trading it. Welcome to FX Pilot, where smart traders learn to trade with precision, discipline, and market structure. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos. In today's video, I will show you exactly how to combine simple ICT concepts with Malaysian SNR to avoid entering trades blindly. So the major mistakes most Malaysian SNR traders make is that once they see daily reject daily, they jump to H4 for breakout without even waiting for the current candle to close. One, some they will not even mark the opening price of the new candle to know the exact entry region. You understand? So they end up entering blindly. It's not about daily reject daily or weekly reject weekly. Then you go to the next lower time frame for breakout. No. If you do that, sometimes if you don't wait for the current candle to close, it will even close late and you end up entering, you will not even know where, because even most of the mentors on YouTube, when they are teaching, they don't even mark the opening price of the new candle. So you know exactly the area where your entry lies. You understand? So this is the major confusion most Malaysian SNR traders have, especially beginners. And that's exactly where ICT concept completely change the narrative for better understanding. So before we do a walkthrough example, or before I do a walkthrough example, I would like us to look at the basics of the components we are going to use. Okay. For Malaysia SN now, we are going to look at for the resistance, basic resistance. When you see two candles of opposite colors, that is one bullish, one bearish, like this. Remember, the closing price of the bullish candle is here. We mark from the opening price. So if you change to line chart, it will give you an A formation, an A formation. Okay, that's for resistance. And then when you see a combination of two candles, one bearish, one bullish, okay, we mark from the closing price of the bearish candle. Okay, that will give you a V formation, a V formation. This is now the support, basic support, and this is now the basic resistance. Now we have the gap, okay, or open and close, because some call it open and close, some call it gap. Okay, when you see this is bearish candle, okay, we expect price to pull back to that zone and then continue selling. This is regarded as a resistance. And when for a bullish candle, we expect price hit this, okay, price hits this and then move up. This is now a support. Now, this support and resistance can only be used twice. Okay, it can only be used twice. Okay, I will explain that when we get into the this. Okay, it can be touched several times, but it can only be used twice. So if this level has been used before, okay, and a candle comes and closes bearish, okay, this level becomes fresh, so it can be used again. So that's what I mean by it can be used twice. It can be touched several times, but it can be used twice. All right, so this is about the basic Malaysia SNR, okay. So this will be our resistance, just like here now, what you're seeing here. If I change to line chart, so this is, if I change this to a line chart, watch, it will give you a sharp A, okay. Now if you look at this point where it's giving you a sharp V, the combination of two candles, look at it. So combination of two, one bearish and one bullish candle, that's exactly what is there. So this is now our support and this will be our resistance, okay. And for gap, look at the gap here. See this gap, this is a support. Now you see how price rejected. This is a sign that this support is going to be respected. price will respect the support. Okay, and then that's for bullish. Then for bearish gap, okay, let me show you bearish gap. Like here, this stands as a resistance. Okay, most resistance, like when you have a gap like this and you see a miss, they call this a miss. It's like an inducement. It's telling you that once you see an inducement close to a resistance like this, price will respect it. Okay, if price fails to respect it, when it comes back, it can use it as a what? As a support. And you see, so this becomes a strong zone. This becomes a strong zone, but we'll go into that. So let me just explain what I'm explaining. All right, so now when price rejects, when you say daily reject daily, that is a price rejecting a resistance or price rejecting a support. Okay, we don't go to the next lower time frame for breakout. We don't do that. Okay, we mark the opening price of the new candle. You wait for the candle that reject to close and then allow the new candle to open. Then you mark it. Okay, now when you mark it, once you see daily reject daily or weekly reject weekly, we want to see candle 2 closure. ICT candle 2 closure. This language is not my language. It's a language used by T trades. You all know T trades. Yeah. Candle 2 closure. That's where I learned this language from. So once you see the rejection, you wait for candle 2 closure. This is a confirmation that the market wants to reverse. It can come in the form of a CROT or candle reversal setup. That's what I call it. Or like this. This is what we will see. We want to see. Then once we see this, the opening price, the next candle will open like this. So we wait for the next candle to open. Then we'll mark the opening price. We want to see price rally on a lower time frame up and then come down. Okay, that's open, high, low, close logic. Okay, so what we want to see after price rejects a support or a resistance, we want to see candle 2 closure. So it can come in this form, it can come in this form. We'll do a walkthrough example. This is an engulfing form. Okay, this is an engulfing form. This is a CROT form. So this is our confirmation before taking a trades. You don't take trade blindly. Don't just because you saw daily reject daily, you jump to H4 for breakout. No, you need to wait to get confirmation. So we'll do a walkthrough examples, okay, on this. Now let's look at Euro USD chart 1 hour time frame. Okay, now we'll look at some examples, a walkthrough example. If you look at this is a support, right? This is a support. Let me zoom so I can see. This is 1 hour time frame, Euro USD. This is a support. Okay. Now what I'm saying is before this becomes a rejection, it will close. And once it closes, this is your entry. And this is giving you a candle 2 closure. This is a candle 2 closure, the engulfing type that I mentioned before. This is where you are entering. This is where you are entering. You mark the opening price of the next candle. Not because you saw rejection here, you jump to M30 for breakout. No, you need to be more specific. Now let's look at this example. Now let's look at this other example. Okay, let's look at this other example. Guys, what I will do here is, now look at this. That's a resistance, right? Now what did you see? This didn't touch, okay? So it used it once, it touched twice, okay? Once this man closes below, it becomes fresh. And this is the next touch. So this is what we are looking for. Once you see a rejection like this, allow it to close and give you a candle 2 closure. This is a candle 2 closure. Okay. Now I will give you an example. This will use one example. You remember, you know the way we used to do it. I will go to the entry time frame with just one setup, okay, and show you the details of how I enter the trade. But the rest, I will only show you the setup, how it is playing out. Candle 2 closure, reject this, candle 2 closure, this reject this, candle 2 closure, okay. how you can enter the trades. Okay. All right. So now let's follow this up. Let's follow this up. Now you say this 1 hour reject 1 hour. Okay. Candle 2 closure. So our entry will be here. That's our entry. You allow this candle to close and then you mark the opening price of the next candle. You go to the 1 minute time frame. 1 minute time frame. Let me box this man so that we can know the exact area we are working on. You go to the 1 minute time frame, guys. So fine. This is a 1 minute time frame. But before then, you need to, on the 1 hour, you need to mark your target. Remember, if you're trading on the daily time frame, okay, your next target will be on the daily. Okay. So as you see, if we enter here, our next support is here. So this will be our next support. And remember, there's a miss here. So when there's a miss, okay, that is like an inducement. So you always look out for this when you're entering and when you're targeting. Okay. So this is our next support on the 1 hour. So you go to 1 minute. This is how you trade Malaysia SNR, combine it with ICT. So you know exactly where you're entering, the specifics. Okay. Now look at it. Look at it. We allow price. This is our opening price. So what we want to see, we want to allow price to go up or rally up, sweep sweep the high, okay, sweep a high or cause a liquidity raid, okay, or price need to run into an order block, okay. So but in this case there is a sweep of liquidity. So that's one thing we want to see. Then these consecutive candles that went up to sweep liquidity, we want to see price close strongly below them. That is a change in state of delivery. Okay. Remember, if you watch my video on breaker block, you understand that accompanying every change in state of delivery, there is a breaker. So these three consecutive candles are the breaker blocks. Okay. So you can box them. Look at the way I mark mine. Box them down to there. Okay. So let me expand it so that you can see. Now, you have two entries. You have two entries. In fact, three. You can enter immediately. Look at this candle. Look at the way it's closed strongly. This is a strong displacement, but it took 1, 2, 3 candles to pull back. So that means momentum is to the downside. Watch my first video on breaker blocks, you understand. Now, you can either enter on this breaker. As soon as you see this, you place your sell limit here. Okay, place your sell limit here. Or you enter with this fair value gap. You enter with this fair value gap. Either the middle of this fair value gap, that's the main threshold. You can enter from the main threshold here. But just be ready to be missing trades, to be missing opportunities. Okay. Look at your stop loss, 1.2. Okay. If you have entered from the breaker, your stop loss will be above the breaker or above here, this point. So let us put that entry as well. Let me put that entry as well. So my stop loss will be my stop loss should be above here, 2.7 stop loss. My stop loss should be here. Then this other one should be here. Okay. So that is how we will enter. Once what you want to see this is your opening price. You want to see price open, high, low, and close. Okay, open, high, low, and close. And this close, because we are selling, should be very strong, show a strong displacement. Okay, and then this high should go and cause a havoc. It should either sweep liquidity or run into a strong order block. In this case, there's a raid, okay? Then we know that work is done. Therefore, they don't need to go higher again because they have already taken liquidity. Okay, now our target, you already know your target. This will give us 1 to 4, while this one gives us 1 to 11. Okay, so this is how we enter. You are entering, you are not entering blindly, you are very specific. You know where you're entering, you know where you're entering, you know where you're targeting, everything very clean and neat. Okay, now this entry model is called a unicorn model. Okay, I explained it during my breaker block video. You can go through it. When you have a change in state of delivery, we want to see a fair value gap aligning with your breaker. Okay, so your entry can be this fair value gap or a breaker. Okay, that is it, very clean. This is one example. Okay, so let's go back to 1 hour. I will be switching time frames. Okay, let's go to the 30 minutes. That one was on the 1 hour. Let's go to the 30 minutes. Let me show you another one, like the one for today. Let me show you. If you go to the 30 minutes now, okay, now look at this. This is 1 hour. Look at this. Okay, but if you go to the 30 minutes, let me show you something. Look at this. Okay, on the 30 minutes, this is a strong resistance, right? What did you see here? Candle 2 closure. Candle 2 closure. We want to see candle 2 closure. Once price rejects a resistance, we are not jumping to any 15 minutes for breakout. No, we wait for candle 2 closure. This is candle 2 closure. Then your entry will be here. Your entry will be here. You go to the 1 minute and then you wait for a market structure sweep, a sweep of a sweep of structure, and then a close below. In fact, change the state of delivery. So we want to see a change in state of delivery, then we'll enter. I just explained the entry. Okay, so I want to just show you the setups now, so you know how to enter. Once you see a rejection, 30 minutes reject 30 minutes. Okay, we wait for candle 2 closure, then we'll enter here. Simple. Okay, H4. Let's look at H4. I want to switch. Let me clear this. Let me clear the chart. Okay, now look at this. Look at this, guys. Let me show you something. Okay, look at this. Look at this. Remember, this is a resistance. Okay, this is a resistance and a turn support. Okay, when you see this, you don't just jump to 1 hour for breakout. You wait for a candle 2 closure. This is an engulfing closure. You take your entry here. This is where you enter. So since this is on the 4 hour, we go to the 5 minutes to look for a change in state of delivery and take our trades. Okay, we take our trades. Very simple. Look at this. This is a support. Okay, what did you see? As price reject, we got candle 2 closure. We got candle 2 closure. Let me show you something. I will show you several examples here. Okay, look at it. Reject, candle 2 closure. We enter from here. We'll go to the 5 minutes because this is 4 hours. We'll go to the 5 minutes to take our entry. Our next target will be what? From 5 minutes, our next target will be the next H4 resistance. That will be our next target. That will be our next target. Okay. Now look at this. Look at this also. Look at this. Okay. Let me remove this. Look at this. There is a strong resistance here and support here. What did you see? Candle 2 closure. Once you see this man close like this man will close here. Your entry will be this. So you go to 5 minutes to look for a change in state of delivery and target the next 4 hour resistance. Okay. Once you see rejection, you don't just jump and enter. Now let's look at this. Let's look at this. Look at this, please. This is a strong. If you change to line chart, you see it. Look at it. Okay. Now, what did you see here? Very clean, guys. Very clean. If you go on daily, to the same thing. Once 4 hour reject 4 hours, you don't just jump blindly to 1 hour breakout. You look, wait for candle two closure. Once you see your candle two closure, this is your candle two closure. You mark your opening price. Wait for the next candle opening price. As soon as this candle opens, okay, you go to the 5 minutes for entry. You can always box this man here for reference. You can box this man for reference, and your entry will be around here. Okay, now where will be your next target? The next H4 support. This will be our target, or here. That's our target. The next H4 support, or here. Okay, so that is it. You wait for candle two closure, or an engulfing. Look at here. Look at this. Reject, reject. Now we are not going, we are not, once you see this rejection, we are not entering. We wait for a candle two closure. This is an engulfing. So once this man closes and engulf this guy, this is where we are entering. This is our entry. We are going to the 5 minutes to look for entry from here. The opening price principle, once price closes below the opening price, that's it. It is done. It is done. Let's look at more examples. This is Euro USD. Okay, we will look at gold because I know most people like using trading gold on this. Let's look at more examples. Let's look at more examples. Okay. All right. So look at this. Just take your time and go through your chart and backtest. Look at this. This reject this. Okay. What do we see? Candle two closure. Ensure there is a candle two closure here. Okay. Then you take your trade here. Your entry will be here. It's very clear, clear as day. Your target will be the next H4 resistance, but you're entering on 5 minutes. Okay, look at this also. Look at this. This reject this, right? You wait for candle two closure. Once you see a candle two closure, guys, this is premium content I'm giving to you. This is premium content I'm giving to you. Now, once you see this reject this, you wait for candle two closure. Your entry should be on the new candle, the opening price. This is where your entry, you look for a change in state. Remember, when price rally up, okay, price rally up, okay, and then it goes to sweep liquidity with a fair value gap. So when it comes down, it will close that fair value gap and cause its own word and gives its own word fair value gap. That fair value gap is what you're entering with. Study price, study the wicks, how wicks forms. You will understand what I'm saying here. So you come here and look for a change in state. When you have when you have a fair value gap and another one closes, is a change in state of delivery. Change in state will not be only consecutive up close candle or down close candle for other blocks. Fair value gaps, disrespecting fair value gaps is also a change in state. Change in state simply means market is changing direction. Okay, so once you have a rejection like that, you wait for candle two closure. This is a clean confirmation. You're not trading blindly. You're not just jumping to the next lower time frame for what is it called, breakout. No, you don't do that. You don't do that. So look at this. Look at this. Okay, there's a candle two closure here. This man close below here. Look at it. Then you enter here. You wait for this man to close and you take your entry here. You go to the lower time frame very cleanly. You're not entering blindly. You know where you're entering. You know where you're entering. Okay, now look at this. Okay, this has been mitigated. So look at this. This is a support. Okay. And then what do you see here? A candle 2 closure. Then you enter here. Enter here. Go to the 5 minutes and take your entry buy here and target the next resistance. That's how it works. That is how it works. That is how it works. Look at this too. It's everywhere, guys. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. This is a candle 2 closure. You enter here and then target the next support. It's everywhere. Just backtest it. Backtest what I'm telling you. Backtest it. Look at this. Candle 2 closure. Okay. If you're not comfortable with this candle 2 closure, because your entry will be here, you wait for this engulfing. It's also a candle 2 closure. Look at it. And then you enter here. Your entry will be the next candle. Okay. You look for a change in state of delivery and target maybe this fair value gap or the next support on 4 hours. But your entry will be on 5 minutes. Look at here. Look at this. This is a resistance. Okay. This is a resistance. And then look at candle 2 closure. You enter here. Okay. You enter here. Take your entry from 5 minutes here and target this. Okay. Target this. Look at this. Look at this. Now, some people will say, but it has mitigated here. Yes, mitigated, but once this man did this becomes fresh. Always mark it from the closing price, okay? The closing price. When this man did this, it becomes fresh. Now, what did you see? Candle 2 closure. Look at it. Candle 2 closure. Your entry is here. You go to the 5 minutes and look for a change in state. Watch, go through, look at the first example and see how I entered. Okay. You look for change in state of delivery from there. Okay. And then you target the next resistance or support on H4, but your entry will be on 5 minutes. Look at it. Neat. Stop entering trade blindly. Stop entering trade blindly. Okay. Look at it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Everywhere. Look at this. Look at it. This is a candle 2 closure, the engulfing type. You take your entry here. You are seeing where you're entering, not because you saw a rejection here. You jump to this thing. You jump to what is it called? The lower time frame for breakout. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. So if you go through your chart, just go through your chart. You'll see it. Just go through your chart. Back test. Look at this. Candle 2 closure. You take your entry here. No, here, from here. Take your entry because this is the closing. Candle 2 closure. You take your sell. Okay. Go through the chart and back test what I'm saying. You will see it clearly. You will see it clearly. It's there. So let's look at gold. Let's look at gold. For gold, I will recommend 15 minutes time frame for gold. You can backtest 1 hour, you can backtest daily, no problem. You can backtest. But for gold, I will recommend M15. That's where the ones I backtested. One I backtested. Okay. So now look at this. This is candle 2 closure. You take your entry here. On the 1 minute, just go to the 1 minute. Go to the 1 minute and target any of this resistance. Any of those resistance. So I will just give you just few examples. Look at this on gold. Candle 2 closure. You take your entry. Always wait for candle 2 closure. Look at this. Okay. Let me look. Guys, just go to your chart, okay, and do a back testing on this. Do a back testing. Once you see a rejection, ensure, sorry, once you see a rejection, you wait for candle 2 closure. Wait for candle 2 closure. If you go to 4 hours, you see. If you go to daily, you see. It will make you take your trade. It will make you enter trade without fear. Look at this. This is H4. Look at it. And there's a candle 2 closure here. Okay, there's a candle 2 closure here. You take your trade here, or you wait for this other candle 2 closure. You take your entry here. Okay, that is not daily reject daily. You jump though. You need to know where you're entering. You need to know where exactly you're entering. Look at this. I don't want this video to be too long, so that's why I'm just looking as if I'm rushing. So look at this candle 2 closure here. Okay, you take your entry here and target the next. Look at even here too. There's candle 2 closure here. You enter here. Let me expand it. Candle 2 closure. You enter here. Okay, look at here too. Candle 2 closure. You take. It's there. Look at this. Candle 2 closure. You take your entry here and sell down. Look at here too. Candle 2 closure. Look at what I'm showing you. This. Candle 2 closure. Look at candle 2 closure. Then you take your entry here, sell down, target the next support. Okay, target the next support. Look at this. Candle 2 closure, you take your sell. Okay, look at here. This. Candle 2 closure, take your buy. It's everywhere. Just calm down. Do your normal SNR, Malaysian SNR. Okay, and then ensure there's candle 2 closure. If you are depending on the type of trader that you are, you're a day trader, you're a swing trader, use your time frame normally, and then wait for confirmation. Wait for confirmation. Look at this. Look at this. Very clear. Very, very clear. You wait for this candle 2 closure. Look at candle 2 closure. And your entry is here. You go to the 5 minutes and take your entry and sell and target this low from the 5 minutes. Target this low. That's it. So just go through your chart back, test it, and let me know. Okay, guys, this is the best way to trade Malaysian SNR, to combine it with ICT. Okay, this is the best way. The biggest mistakes most Malaysian SNR traders make is treating Malaysian SNR like as if it's a standalone strategy. You understand? The real edge comes when you combine it with ICT concepts. That's when you get the real edge. Don't be trading it as a standalone strategy. No. It will look as if you're entering blindly. It will look as if you're entering blindly. Just go to the chart and look at what I'm telling you. You will see it. Look at it. It's everywhere. Once you see your rejection like this, you wait for a candle 2 closure. This man engulfs this and gives you a candle 2 closure. Look at your entry. Enter here. This is your entry. And target here. Fine. Finish. This is what you do. You close that. So if your setup is on the 4 hour, you go to the 5 minutes or 3 minutes. Look for a change in state of delivery and target here. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. Look at here too. You know what you're doing. Look at this. Look at this. Candle 2 closure is here. There's a candle 2 closure here. Or you take this as your candle 2 closure and then you take your buy here. Yeah, okay, that's it. Have you been trading Malaysian SNR this way or differently? Let me know in the comment section, okay? Let me know the style and the way you have been trading it. But this is the best. Don't stop trading as a standalone. This is the best. Guys, if this video is helpful, okay, kindly subscribe and turn on the notification bell, okay? Share this video. If it is helpful to you, share to others to benefit, okay? Share to others to benefit. Like I said, this channel is a channel where I will give you secrets. I will give you best quality content that will help you make money, not just content that you just doing. No, I'm making content that will help you make money. Okay, help you make money. In the next video, I will teach you my simplified ICT SMT divergence that works every day. A simplified ICT SMT divergence that works every day. That will be the next video, guys. Don't miss that video. Don't miss it. Ensure you watch it. Thank you.